right, thank you for staying with us. And the conversation this morning, by the way, to start with, is no more news that the APC now have a substantive new national chairman. That's Netanwe Yitwalda, and he's from North Central Plateau, to be very precise. He's the chairman of that party right now. So at the NEC meeting that was held yesterday, the president, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, was there. And he spoke on other things, eulogized the former national chairman, that's Abdullah Ganduje. Even said maybe they might give him a consulting role, to help them in many things that they have started in the APC. But then he addressed the opposition as well at that meeting, and he called them a coalition of confusion, saying it won't be bad for anybody to abandon a sinking ship. And so that is who they, that's the way, discountenance them and dispelled their position. One might want to say maybe the ADC, because they are the one pulling or pushing the coalition thing, and they have found a home in the ADC as well. You need to see, you already know the people that are in the ADC. You talk about Rotimi Amici, Dino Melai, Tiku Abubakar, Rauf Beshola, Nasir Al-Rufai, Babachi Lawal, Dili Mamodu, many of those guys, David Mark, and with Rotimi Amici has started, the South-South campaign, so to say, or mobilization, because a few days ago, he rode into Port Harcourt. He addressed the supporters, their supporters there, the ADC, Reverend Beshola, on the other hand, in the southwest, started in Akure to Elisha to Shogbo, and going ahead with his move, and maybe others would do so as well. So will he be right to just dispel the ADC away? But then he's Mr. President. He has been in politics like forever, and now at the state level, at the regional level, he's now at the national level, and he's saying, people that are jumping ship, it won't be a bad idea. We hope the video is ready. So that you can take a look. If you have that, we should have that. Okay, all right. So we'll have it very shortly. But then we have a public affairs analyst joining us, Barrister Moses Obaditon, a legal practitioner and analyst as well. It's good to speak with you again, Barrister. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you.
Thank you, man. The man in white. Good morning.
Thank you for joining us.
All right. Yeah. Your president, Nigeria's president, have said, that the coalition is just a coalition of confusion. And for people that are jumping the ship, sinking ship, we call them, to come and taste the progressives, parts of life, it won't be about it. But as for this coalition, they are just confused people. Your impression on that assertion of Mr. President?
Well, he's the president of Nigeria, he's the leader of the APC, and you must also remember he's the father of the nation too. One thing with the politician is that sometimes when they are dreaming, and in their dream, they see no opposition, they see no hindrances or any cross on their way, and suddenly, from nowhere, there's a contour. And then there are some people who are trying to delay what they thought was going to be just an easy job. Maybe I should illustrate with something you remember. There was a fight between Muhammad Ali and Joe Frazier. And then they said, okay, let's be done in Africa. And then they brought the things into, what's that country now?
Zaire. Now Congo.
Yeah, now Congo. So, and Joe Frazier was so sure, the man heavily built, and they said they rumble in the jungle. But by the time the thing was coming, the builder was so sure that Joe Frazier would finish Muhammad Ali. And if you watch Ali will first of all take a lot of punches. But suddenly when he comes, he gets you into the play. And eventually Ali knocked down Joe Frazier. So if you happen to be Joe Frazier, and you come up at the end of the match, what will you say? You will say Ali was a Confucianist. How do I illustrate with that one? The APC was riding a stormless ride.
the coast was clear. One party state, one party state. Everyone was afraid. Why is it like this? They said, don't worry, I'm enjoying your confusion. But somebody come from nowhere, like a storm in a teacup. And then the man was taking his tea, began to complain. He has a right to complain because he wasn't envisaging that something will come suddenly. Let's put it another way. You are a pilot. Hello, please put on your belt. The thing will be taken over, so and so. And then the flight was on. And suddenly, storm came from nowhere. And then there were birds flying to the airplane that could cause a crash. Should you expect the pilot not to speak? So the president is speaking. That, look, these are people we never envisaged they could come. They are Confucianists. He's simply expressing himself. We didn't. We're expecting somebody who's going to be the one who kill a lion, not a dog. So that is what he's expressing as somebody. Then secondly, the sudden emergence of the ADC. To some, they say they are same of the same. They were colleagues, their partner. Adegbeshola cannot claim not to know President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Yeah. David Mark cannot tell that he's new into Nigerian politics. So if he's calling them this one, they are simply saying, we thought they are write-off. We thought they are retired. Well, now they are refiring. So remember, don't take them little. They are confusion. If we don't handle them, they will confuse us. They will delay us. And our flight will not be able to sail into the right ports. So the president is simply talking politics. So those who understand him know properly that they are not, it was not like a year ago. It was not even 6 months ago when these people are not on board. So the only things that people may find difficult is that if you are not used to him, you say, that language is acidic. You shouldn't have used that language. But in politics, especially when you are dealing with the man who is in charge of Lagos and who is not in charge of Nigeria, he has that language whenever he's at the peak of his discussion and he's realizing what he intends to achieve. So what he has expressed is expected, but the only thing he needs to moderate the language because he has gotten to the leader so that he doesn't speak anything that will put fire in the political field. So that when the real campaign begins, they won't say, the president said this one. He said that one. He should just moderate that language. But it's expected because the ADC is not allowing them to sleep comfortably.
Well, Barrister Badito, you say the ADC is not allowing them to sleep comfortably. Let's take a look at going into the 2027 general election. Earlier on the show this morning, we talked about the fact that the APC, they keep gaining ground even in the National Assembly. We talked about the fact that they are dominating in the Senate and, of course, not far-fetched in the House of Reps, which means they're actually in control of the government. A lot of people, a lot of Nigerians have described the National Assembly, the current 10th Assembly, as just a rubber stamp for Mr. President. So don't you see this working for him going forward, going to the 2027 general election? And another point here is, Barrister Badito, do you really think Nigerians still have confidence that their votes will count? That's one major factor. Because if everyone is rushing towards Mr. President right now, we have governors, you have leaders, politicians from different parties, all defecting, all joining the APC. Look at Osun State, for instance, a PDP state, the governor declaring openly to support the president of the APC. So it seems as though everyone is scared of Mr. President. So do you still think that people, Nigerians, ordinary Nigerians, believe their votes will count going into 2027?
Before talking about vote will count, I would like to ask a question, and I will answer it. Why are people joining APC? Right. Is it because they have performed extremely well? Is it that they are the best bride in the country? No. Prince Olagunso Oyinlola have just spoken. He said Governor Adeleke is under pressure.
So they are scared of the APC. They are scared of the president. Is that the position?
No. If you understood what I'm trying to say,
make us understand.
Okay. If your fingers are clean and you have no skeleton in your cupboard,
then you have nothing to be afraid of.
Nothing to be afraid of. There's a book written by James Hadley Chase, The Guilty Are Free. So let's start from Delta. Is it because of the president that the former governor joined the APC, or because of 1.2 trillion that EFCC lock him up and ask him to do the needful, or we charge you to court? Is it because they have performed extremely well in APC? That's why even the governor has to follow his godfather to join the party? Let's leave that one aside. If we come to even this Osun itself, why is it because they are the best party in Nigeria that Adeleke, the senator, want to go there? How about the local government in Osun State? Is it functioning? Is it living? Is it dead? Why is it those people, this court said, your term is gone? Whatever you are doing is an academic exercise. And yet they are still there. We have Inspector General of Police. We have the AG, Attorney General of the Federation. How about the local government? When the Supreme Court ruled, 1 year now, and said, local government, you are now autonomy. Collect your money. And then despite that judgment, because once Supreme Court speak, only God is next. And yet, no state is innocent. And they are still doing that. Is that rule of law? But when you come into a democracy without Democrats, if you want to say truth and you don't want to be in trouble, and you yourself know that your hands are not clean, he that come to equity will come with clean hands. So most, an average politician in Nigeria is like what fella say, confusion everywhere. Authority stealing. If you check here and there, people are being picked up. Your accountant general should come and explain this one. Even let's go to Rivers. Before the governor there, Fubara, became governor, Wike has to hide him because there is a case of 433 billion, which him and other people has to explain.
He was accountant general then?
Yes, and the EFCC were looking for him, and eventually became governor. So if they don't say Fubara, free your record, we will return you back, but you have to come here. So there are different pressure. There are pressure when you have no skeleton in your combo. There are pressure when they feel you are the best man around. And that pressure will be because you have your option. You have nothing to lose. If you tell them, no, sorry, I'm not joining you. Because you know who you are. But in a situation where the state, remember, when we are talking of ideal political system, this is not true democracy. What we have is pseudo-democracy. The word pseudo means next, close. That's what we practice in Nigeria. In a situation where government pick and drop, court judgment, is that democracy? Is that the rule of law? And people now want to sail. They want to be relevant, politically relevant. They want second term. And then they put you under pressure. You say people are joining. They are joining because they know they collect constituency projects. And you know the record now. Most of the senators will collect some constituency projects. They convert the money to their own. And some of them have, okay, let me go to the Senate president. As the governor of the Akwa Ibom, he has a case to solve with EFCC. At the head of the NDDC, he has a problem, 60 billion, to solve with them. Before he became Senate president, while they were looking for him, the man is there. And Oshomole gave us the latest Psalm, Psalm 151. If you check Bible, you don't go to Psalm, but he did for APC.
That what?
Psalm 151.
What's that?
It's not in the Bible. Psalm is only 150.
It's not in the Bible, but according to Oshomole,
I know.
He said, join us and your sins shall be forgiven.
That's Psalm 151.
Of the APC.
All right. Now, let me quickly ask.
So those are the reasons why people are joining. Not because they have performed extremely well. Not because it is not where they are is not convenient. But they know that if we
they
join,
want to shield themselves from prosecution.
Of course.
Because of corruption.
Of course.
Implicitly, you will say that means the APC covers corruption. That's what you're saying.
It's an open system.
And that means
now,
the government of the day...
From Ganduji that just left. Gandola, they call him.
Absolutely.
And so even the Kanu governor cannot take him to court now.
Okay.
They asked him to come. He didn't come. So what are we talking? Who are we going to pick there?
What I'm saying is this. With
maybe
this
the
analogy,
Speaker of the House is a bit better.
All right.
Because we have not known much about secrets.
Now, what you are saying now, that APC, with what you have explained,
we shield you from the arms of law.
And, every one of them professing to be supporting the president now are running away from corruption cases You know, they want to have a soft
a large number so that we don't just go
yeah,
there.
a large number. You know, the president there. So will you be saying that the president is not fighting corruption? Because if he's the leader of the government, he's the leader of the party, and people are rushing to him to say, oh, we are supporting you because of ulterior motive. Now, we've had, you know, PDP stalwart here in Osun say the issue of Ademola Adeleke is the pressure thing was there as well. Somebody even said, you know, President Odeyemi, that the issue of the local government fund has been seized, you know, and it's not forthcoming. He has to pay. The people are supposed to be happy. If he needs to consider joining the center to have all of those funds released, won't he consider that, even though the governor's camp have said they have never considered that as well? Will you be saying President Tinubu, with all the people rushing towards him, they are seeing him as somebody that could cover their transgressions and their corruption case, and the president is not fighting corruption?
Let me start by using question to answer question.
Okay.
The Edu Gates, how far? When a suspect admitted that government money was transferred to his own account, he's supposed to be charged to court.
Better I do.
Better I do. How far with the case? The former Accountant General of the Federation admitted that a sum of 103 billion was inside, and he negotiated and dropped 30 billion. How far? The aviation minister before, under Buhari, was being shaken here and there for about 22-point-something billion. Adi Sirika. He brought a plane from nowhere and showed us and blows our eyes. How far with his case? And when I even mention Akpabio, in an ideal situation, even in Ghana, he will be asked to step down so that that case can be looked at. Because if I Western country will say, okay, let's go to South Africa. The former president of South Africa, Joseph Zuma, was alleged to have used state funds to build house in his own village. He made restitution. And despite that one, he was even at a point in time locked up in jail.
Yeah.
For about 18 months. That is a country that is fighting corruption. In Tanzania, when the president was coming, he said, look, as I'm resuming, if anybody have tampered with state fund, please return it. And over 500 billion were returned. How far with this government? How many people have returned state fund? How about people who have an allegation? Are you aware that somebody, a minister under President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, was one of those people who laundered money for Abacha and was locked up in American jail? And the then president, Buhari, negotiated that if you release this man for all, he will be brought for trial. And he forfeited $160 million to the American. The guy is the minister. He came back, he being governor, 2 times governor. And now today he's a minister. Is the president going to say he doesn't know about it? So is he fighting corruption? Tell me under him how many people have been arrested and said you want to. You can't work with me. Your hands are soiled. I'm simply asking questions. I'm not confirming. I said those are.
Yeah, I just wanted to say that yes, some Nigerians
are saying he has fought corruption.
No, not that. In the contrary, some Nigerians will say that one cannot really accuse Mr. President of having pledged or ever pledged to fight corruption.
Well, he may not play, but it's one of his duties.
Exactly, but it's in
the constitution.
But some Nigerians will say that he has not really been coming out to say that he is fighting corruption. That he has
no, he is saying that most of people who are coming, you know, if you look at magnets, the iron, they magnetize themselves. But it is very rare for iron to magnetize 3, except a miracle that Elisha performed when the tree fell into the river. So the likes walks toward the likes. They say, show me your friend and I'll tell whom you are. So if people are going and are coming to you and you know they have a record, they have soiled the state, the resources have been mismanaged, and yet you have the opportunity, the privilege of saying, get out, you can't work with me. Go and settle your case. Or you are even informing, do you know that's what we call noli prosecute? Noli prosecute has been applied by Buhari to many people. Noli prosecute says, please stop the trial of this man. The Attorney General still has the power. The Attorney General of the Federation has it. So we have many people that they gave. The former chairman of, not Ganduje this time around, before Ganduje, the governor of Nasarawa, Abdullahi, was alleged to have case of 179 with his sons and 17 others. As soon as he defected from PDP, the case was settled. And noli prosecute was applied.
All right.
Today. If you are saying It's not new. They understood the game ahead. So if we are going to look at it, are you aware that even about, let's say 20 years ago, when I'm talking 2005 to 2007, that the current SA security, Momo Ribadu, said out of the 36 states, 32 of them are found wanting. And he mentioned those in power today. And today, when they remind him, he didn't say, and then they played the record.
All right.
They admitted.
Baditon.
Yes, sir.
All right. We need to go for a break now. When we return, I'd like you to address a critical issue. But let's just hang in. Let's go for this break. As soon as we return, we dive deeper into the conversation. Please stay with us. Thank you for staying with us. This is still Morning Spring on Western Spring Television. We've been talking about the recent statement made by Mr. President at the APC NEC meeting held yesterday, where he described the ADC, the coalition, as a coalition of confusion. And some Nigerians have been reacting to that. We see with us on the program, Barrister Moses Obaditon, a legal practitioner and a public affairs analyst. Thank you for joining us once again, Barrister Obaditon.
Thank you.
Just before we went on that break, while we were discussing, you called what we are practicing in Nigeria not a true democracy.
Democracy.
Yeah, some will call it quasi-democracy, just close to democracy, not the real democracy. Now, looking at the coalition that we have now, the ADC, and the personalities involved, we have Atiku Abubakar, we have Rotimi Amechi, and of course we have Peter Obi, even though there are some rumors that Peter Obi might be pulling out. Some people have said that the ADC was actually put together just to, push the agenda of Atiku as a person, which they have denied. They are saying they are going to have free and fair primaries to determine who gets the ticket, the presidential ticket. Now, looking at the comments of Mr. President, you have said it, that we are not really practicing democracy here. That also a lot of people have been defecting, moving towards the president simply because their hands are not clean. You give example of the former governor of Delta State. You give the example of Rivers State as well, how the governor, how these individuals have been involved in one shady deal or the other, and they are simply aligning with the government at the center just to protect themselves. You also raised the issue of Psalm 151, Psalm 151 of the APC, which says, when you join us, your sins are forgiven. Now, the concern now is this. If Mr. President believes that this coalition is a coalition of confusion, he's still in power going into 2027. And if he has been using the organs of state, just like some people have accused him, to intimidate and threaten these people, Barrister Obaditon, what do you think will happen to those in the ADC right now? Are you sure that they do not have skeletons in their cupboard? Look at someone like Rotimi Amechi, someone like Atiku Abubakar. Don't you think, if it is true that the president has been using the organs of state to threaten and intimidate, don't you think the same thing, the same fate would befall these individuals in the coalition right now?
Yes, your question is right. If somebody is a Confucianist, but he has not come to your house, not your corporation, why are you using Panadol for his own headache? So let them destroy themselves. If you are talking that Amechi, even David Mark, why as Senate president, he bought the Senate building in Abuja, converted his own. There were allegations of his lifestyle. So when we are talking of the political field in Nigeria, show me angels among them. Tell me the man who has never seen. Now, when they brought a case of a woman caught in adultery to Jesus, they say, sir, this woman, we caught him. They say, fine. And Jesus was writing on the floor, on the sand. And then they said, we said we caught this woman. They didn't bring the man who was with adultery. They brought the woman. And Jesus said, let him who have never seen be the first to throw stone. We know the history of ourselves. Some of us were journalists too. Some of us are also lawyers. We know the case that died. We know some questions. We know some they have no answer. So if you say these are coalitions of corruption, but they were part of your system. Amechi was in ADC. He served the former president
APC.
APC. He served him as a
Minister of Transportation
for 8 years. And so if you said Aregbesola, he is the governor. In fact, he was one of the foundation members of APC. So if you have anything against him, they will use it at the appropriate time. But the question is, if we are getting to that level, would that one be a way of solving Nigerian problem? That's why I said we do more of politicking than governance. So the ADC that came together, even they themselves have said it, they said they are going to use the law against us. They made that statement.
Absolutely, they did.
They did. So they are aware. They know the person. I say, they know the person they are playing game with. That he will use everything possible. But they themselves will have prepared themselves. And what the president said, that their confusion is, he understood. They may not win. Like the Yoruba said, a leopard man may not be able to milk a cow, but he could split it.
All right.
So the ADC, their main goal is not presidency.
Oh, Barrister, sorry to continue. Look at someone that the most, let's say the biggest figure among them, arguably Atiku Abubakar now. Some Nigerians have said, if you look at the statement that former President Chief Olusegun Obasanjo had made concerning Atiku, okay, he has been credited, alleged to have said that the money Atiku stole when he was VP is enough to feed 300 million Nigeria for 400 years. I mean, we've seen that happen severally on social media. That this man was involved in so much, so much. I'm just saying that things Nigerians, I mean, news making the rounds in Nigeria and the public saying that, oh, he has done. So what do you think will happen to that allegation if truly someone like that emerges as the, ticket bearer, flag bearer for the ADC?
He has emerged about 2 times as a presidential flag bearer. So if he emerges today, they know themselves. The same president once promoted him as the candidate of ACN to flag the flag as a presidential candidate. In Nigeria, each time you alleged that X and Y is corrupt, they will say the court has not. Court have not ruled.
But we are dealing with a Tinubu this time around.
Yes, but the court have not ruled. We are still. So if they mean business, let them take him to court, prove the case beyond reasonable doubt. Once he's convicted, then he's disqualified according to the Nigerian Constitution. But as long as the mere allegation, the man will still go. He may not score the goal. But then the question I want to ask, are you aware too that when somebody became a top man in Nigeria, Times in London called him kleptocrat individual? So that I won't mention names so that they won't come and pick me up.
No, they won't pick you up.
You're a lawyer, you can defend yourself.
So what I was saying to a large extent, if Atiku stole resources, those who become sudden billionaires, how did they get it to? What job were they doing? How did they garner it? So the issue, I'm not defending corruption, but I'm simply saying that it's a normal or a coin language. They say, but he has not been found guilty.
Yes, you are the lawyer. He hasn't been found guilty.
He has not been found guilty. So it's not we people. It is the law.
Okay.
I think section either 40 or 42 said it's a presumption.
All right.
That an accused is presumptively innocent until the court proves otherwise.
All right. Barrister, let me ask you this. Now, that meeting that was held, the NEC meeting, in fact, I allow us to take a look so that people can hear and see how the president said it.
It's not a bad idea to abandon the sinking ship and be absent from a coalition of Confucians. Our firm commitment, as we marked 2 years in office, it has been very rewarding. I could see the leadership of the National Assembly, people like Alero of Kebbi, others, embracing the great progressive ideology. I take this opportunity to thank the outgoing, the former national chairman, I would say, Raji Umar Ganduje. I gave him an assignment on the formation of a progressive doctrine that the new chairman, a progressive institute, I think National Secretary will help to revitalize that and coordinate. And we can still take him as a consultant for the work with the new chairman to do that. It's not a bad idea to abandon the sinking ship and be absent from a coalition of Confucians.
Right. You just heard the president there. So that was the way he said it now. Abandoning a sinking ship and, a coalition of confusion. Now that it seems at every forum now, some of the cabinet members, the supporters of the president, will always have, of the party, will always have something to say about the ADC right now. And so they are gaining traction. Now, do you think the president, now, many persons will say, give Tinubu his flowers. When it comes to politics, he's way and head and everywhere, shoulder above everyone in all of this. But do you think he's bothered?
If it's not bothered.
About the ADC?
If he does bother, why is he called them gathering of frustrated politicians? Not today. That was the first, how you describe them. Mm. If it's not bothered, he said those who are abandoning the sinking ship.
Yeah.
It's a business.
He's discarding them. So, like they don't matter. Do you think they matter to him?
It is the fruit, it's the tree that has fruit that children throw stone. Mm-hmm. If the ADC are not relevant, they will just ignore them. Are they the only party that have just been on the saddle? As yesterday, we are told about 134 are about to register. But this one, the ADC have been there.
140. Now we have about 140.
Very good.
Who have shown interest.
I remember we have about 97 previously. Why ADC? Because when you suddenly you are just enjoying your ride, and somebody just cross your line. Talile, who be this? I be this.
Sorry, you made mention of something that the ADC right now might not, click that position of the presidency. So what is their aim? Do you think they can really pull it off? That's first leg. Two questions, sir. Okay. Do you think, because you said you don't think maybe any of them could emerge as a president right now in the next election? And number two, what with the crop of people that are there, the baggages, the allegations, the antecedents, their history, why they are in power, and all of those things, what do you think they can bring to the table beyond what Tinubu is bringing? That's important for us to interrogate. What can they do?
Your first question was that, why are they gathering together?
Yeah.
If I get it right.
Can they click? You said it yourself that you don't think they can emerge.
Yes.
Any of them can emerge.
There is a difference between thinking and speaking something factually.
Okay.
Now, between 2013 and 2014, I was also part of those people who are attending meetings. My principal was Ralph Aregbesola. So we're in all part of Nigeria about this. And people never give them the chance.
I was talking about the APC then.
APC, that people like that party, if Goodluck do not foresee it, you will say so many things against them and their meeting will not take place. But today, because of they are learning from lesson, like the Yoruba said, that the man who normally behead people will not allow somebody holding cutlass to bypass their back. So today they are raising, these people, we know them, we thought they have retired. Now they are refiring. They are Confucianists. They are this, they are that. they are now realizing that the dream of just having one party state is now blocked. Secondly, if a friend of an enemy is also an enemy, they are not friendly with us, but they could be friendly with the people we thought already fading, the sinking ship. Mm-hmm. So if ADC on the long run, and as they are approaching, because even in 1959, in 1965, in 1979, there have always been alliances. When you are approaching an election and you realize you don't have the stamina, you don't have the nitty-gritty or the resources to be able to destabilize, to push the people who thought they are the front runner, then you come together. So what's the likelihood that if I leave PDP and both of us are approaching a goal, but we realize that the man ahead is the Ronaldo? Why don't you give Ronaldo a kick and then I score the goal? So they also come together before the election takes place in 2027. So, but then initially they thought the only party that gave them headache was PDP. And PDP, as far as they are concerned, they are frustrated sinking ship. But those people who escaped the shipwreck are now gathering together. So they now have two people to face. Ronaldo does not only going to face somebody who's going to give him his life, but somebody is likely to take the ball from him. So do you expect Ronaldo to keep quiet? He will distance himself and begin to see if there is a way that he can send another player, make sure that man doesn't block him from coming up. So what I'm saying to extend is that the ADC in their own dream, despite the baggage they are saying, they will laugh because you know me, I know you. There was the election that took place in the Student Union of University of Ibadan in 1982 or 83. There was a man called Femi Falana. Not this Falana, it's another person.
All right.
So when he came to campaign, he said, you know me, I know you, there's no need to talk. So Atiku knows Bola Tinubu. Bola Tinubu knows Atiku. David Mark understood the other people, and they have been fertilizing for a very long time. So when it is the appropriate time, they know their rules.
They know the politics to play.
They know the politics to play. So the fact that I said they may does not mean they could not win. However, what stops us from joining hands with our enemy and fight against the opponents? So if the PDP are able to realize in time that seeing Wike as the only headache would be a waste of time, let them ignore him. In phone, you delete, you ignore, or you press the button. So the game here today is the presidency. The main headache of ADC and PDP is the presidency, which is Bola Tinubu, that they do not want. In fact, Amechi said it at the campaign yesterday. I said, if you don't want to be hungry, this man should not be given second term. Majority of those people in PDP too felt, look, this is our chance. Article you are talking, by the time they make them to understand that even the PDP where you are coming from, their candidate will be coming from the south. If we know that Bola is from the south will not give it out. They will appeal to his sense of reasoning. Let's present a candidate from the south. Because people, the agreement was that it was his dream. Yeah, it could be your dream. But when you know your dream will be a disaster, why don't you drop it?
For your party. Yeah.
For your party.
Absolutely.
So reason, we appeal to him.
All right.
Where he had gotten into life, did he ever dream of it? He was a custom officer. From there, you become governor. And they say, oh, drop the governor, come and be a running mate. And you be married. From there, you become vice president. You have been so many things in life. And now this presidency, you rather see the stumbling block. You even know the man you are playing game with. He will concede at the appropriate time. So they know their game.
All right. Barrister Baditon, which brings me back to the first question I asked, talking about the elections, okay, and the validity of the votes of the candidates. Now that we have the APC and Mr. President being so influential, of course, the president has INEC under his control. He's still the one who appoints INEC chairman, although they are talking about it in the constitutional review to take it away from the president and all that. But so far, right now, he still reports, okay, to Mr. President. He's still in control of the institutions. Do you still think Nigerians' vote will count? One of our not callers, rather, I said callers, the results person we had yesterday, Barrister Chitam Mwala, talked about the election in Rivers State. He wasn't in Rivers State. He said he was a collation officer representing another party at that time. He told us how results were changed, how the people's votes did not count. Now we have empowered the APC, being so influential, gaining so many people. Do you think that Nigerians' vote will still count in 2027? Because if Mr. President is saying these people are just a coalition of confusion, do you think he's relying on the vote of the people? Is APC really banking on Nigerians' votes to be re-elected in 2027? Or do you think there might be some ulterior motive to make sure that no matter what happens, no matter what the coalition does, we will still be returned in 2027?
Well, let me start by telling you that in democracy, no matter how strong the candidate may be or the incumbent, the people still have to vote. Number one. I also want to tell you that most of these big wigs, they don't go out on the days of election. The only problem which you mentioned is the institutions that handle election, which is INEC. By November, the Monday will go. A new person will come. Our fear is general. That are we sure?
The new person will still be produced through this system.
This same system. Because you are just talking of proposed that they should, and the wise report have even said it. Don't let the presidency pick. Let's be a sort of vacancy. Let it be announced. Let it be the way they appoint judges. But then you know the system. But the question is this. In the human collectivity or anything that involves man, you can never say never. Because man is subject to changes. And who bring about the change? The people. It is said that a society determines the type of leader they have. And when it is time, it is also the men of that country, or the people of, when I mean men, I mean the people of that country will now determine and say enough is enough. We have seen in our own country that at a point in time, when election never counts, people arose. And eventually, the election that brought, I think, President Muhammad Buhari to power was one of the fairest elections. Today, people are now more conscious.
Did you say one of the fairest elections, Muhammad Buhari? A lot of people disagree with that.
No, I take to some degree. I'm not saying it is the best. The best is 1993 election, which is option A.
MK Abiola.
MK Abiola. So, but even the one that brought Yaradua, Yara said that the election was not good enough. And then they set up a body, which is called OIC report. OIC makes some recommendation. But then, towards the end of it, the 2015 election, which Jonathan conceded, it's not the best. But then, the vote counted to some degree. The PDP were more not in saddle. People were tired. And then the APC was coming with a recruit. Change. Who does not want to change? In every society. And so they give them in. So you cannot say that election.
Even when you say you are judging that as being one of the best, even when
I'm
the presidential... I just wanted to raise a point because Goodluck Jonathan granted an interview recently. I even said it. When the presidential candidate of the APC then, the late President Muhammad Buhari, was going about his campaign saying the monkey and the baboon will be soaked in blood.
That was 2011.
Threatening.
That was 2011. That was 2011.
Threatening violence and all that.
Monkey and baboon actually went into action. About 10 of our NYC members were brought home there, including Oshun here.
Especially
but the 2015, Jonathan was able to raise up, he engaged some military outside Nigeria to help them quench the mercenaries. So that's why I said that one was a bit better than 2011. And then to some degree, people agreed that Jonathan actually lost election because Jonathan was not getting it as at that time. So the subsequent election has their own problem. They have been raised, we have obtained a new machine. The best election is coming. But then we'll have problem with leadership. Like somebody is saying it's under pressure in Osun. Those people are also under pressure. They told us the website will record the thing was not getting there. So like your fear is that how are we sure that election will count? Election will count when the people determine. I'll give you a practical example.
Even if the umpire is compromised.
Oh, I'm sure you know what they call the Western crisis. It was election. The winner, even forget the Western crisis, come to 1983 election. In President Ondo State was together with Ekiti State. And then the second term of Baba Adekunle Ajasin, the election was coming. And once Akeomobori, who defected to the ruling party, the MPN, and the election was rigged. Do you know they were announcing his name? They were monitoring on radio. If you see Akin Omobolu get him, and then those who supported him were roasted in the heart of Akure.
We wouldn't want to go back to
No, I'm just giving you that when people rose up in their anger, so people will not want a repeat of history. So that why, and from that day, they got it right there. Each time you want to go, they say, remember, 1983.
Yeah.
So we also we want to remind the politician that what we want is a peaceful country. But then somebody said,
the politicians are the umpire.
Someone said, and that's John Kennedy, said those who make peaceful change impossible make a violent change inevitable. So if they do not want a violent change, they must allow election.
The rule of law.
And those who are being recruited should also remember that the temple, if you look at it, when you put a fish in a cold water, he will be dancing. But when you begin to increase the... No, if it's even a frog.
That's a frog.
It's a frog.
But the frog would rather die there, not sensing the change in temperature.
So they should not behave... That way I'm going. They should not behave like the frog.
All right, thank you.
And they should learn to jump out and do the needful. Because the tempo, the cry, the lamentation, it is not only just politicians of feeling it.
We must go.
Common man is going to vote, have gone through the wars.
Yeah.
We are the capital of poverty, taken over from India.
So we are the
about
brink.
135.
You are saying technically we are the brink of a revolution.
We are the brink of it, and they too will not want to make the nation to go into combustion.
All right.
So they will rather allow the rule of law to go and to allow the vote of the people to count.
The vote should count.
Those people there, they have come.
The rule of law must prevail. But so
that
that we are clear, this is not a call for violence.
No. We are saying that they will allow the rule of law, they will allow for fair justice to reign.
All right. So many things to talk about. We'll have asked you, but then we are totally out of time right now. Thank you, Pastor Moses Obadito.
It's a pleasure doing it too.
Legal professional. And thank you, everyone, for staying with us this week. It's been an amazing one. And we will make a return, God willing, on Monday. But before we go, we talked about the passing of the man, Hockagan, who gave many of us a very sweet, childhood memory. WWE showman, showmaker who passed on. We allow you to have, one more glimpse at what the man represented, why he was there.
Absolutely. And Emeka Daniel is my name. Do have a wonderful weekend. And of course, this weekend, I'm feeling like Hulk Hogan. Yeah, you don't want to get in my way. Join us again next week for fresh editions of Morning Spring on Western Spring Television. Do have a wonderful weekend. Good morning.